meant of selfless service. No region, no religion, just commitment to nation.
Until we elect them, we labor in vain.
Because they have elected somebody, maybe they can just call me anytime. It's not done.
Hello and welcome to What Are You Saying? #Ways, where we talk about topics in the news as it affects us all. My name is Elsie Godwin, and tonight I'm joined by amazing ladies, Noma Ifanga and Isi Ofodile. Hello ladies. How are you doing?
So beautiful.
We're trying to look like Owa, you know. How's your
If only
day?
she could hear you right now. I'm sure she's peeking somewhere.
How did your day go?
My dear.
Just don't want to know.
I want to know. I want to know.
Were you affected by the traffic from the chaos this morning?
I actually escaped that. You
Oh.
know, I usually work close to base, so I didn't
What
get to
chaos
experience
is that?
it. Oh, the fire.
The fire
that
situation at
happened.
Abombo.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's actually my story this
Wow.
evening.
Okay.
Were you there?
No, I wasn't. But I heard, I was listening to the news and I heard all sorts, people who were in 3 hours of traffic between Surulere and Lagos Island or Ikoyi and all of that
Wow.
axis. So it was terrible for some people. They didn't hear the news ahead of time, so
But
they
nobody
got
died,
into
though.
the mix. Good enough so far.
Okay.
No one is reported to be dead.
I mean,
Aside from nobody
everything
dying,
lost
I
can be
agree.
gotten back.
Yes,
but at
I
least,
agree.
yeah.
Yes,
Millions were lost.
Time spent in traffic won't be gotten back.
Gotten back,
That's
yeah.
one.
You can't quantify that,
Another
actually.
thing, yes, and another thing is the fact that we're just recovering from fuel scarcity. If it's actually gone, but we're still feeling the pang of it.
Yeah.
And it's not just fuel. People are crying for diesel.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's another thing. The
Yeah,
price
yeah.
is something else.
Businesses
It's
are
affecting
shutting
me
down.
Power
partially
supply,
because
increase
of
in power
the house.
supply as well.
Yeah, so
There's a lot that's
going on.
Yeah, a lot is going on.
A lot is going on.
Okay, my day was good. I just had meetings, work, and then I had to go and look like Owa for the show. So I had to do like 30 minutes traffic
Let me
just
use
to rush.
Uwa's English. My head is just busting.
Karen is busting, right? Okay. I mean, airport is an interesting place for me. I'm someone that would say I love traveling, but I don't like the process of traveling. Right?
Nobody does.
So if I can wake up
Cool.
and find
That's,
myself
you know,
wherever I want to
boom.
be, I would be very happy. And I think it also became more rigorous with the COVID-19 protocols and all that.
Yeah.
But I think it's getting better and it's easing up, but that will be the center of our conversation tonight. And we'll go on a very quick break. And when we come back, we'll definitely check out what's in the news. You're still watching Wiz. Now, they are fluffy and playful and they yip and bark and are just all adorable and all around, and all they want is to be loved. I guess you can begin to guess what I'm talking about. It's National Puppies Day. That's right. Puppies are beautiful. National Puppy Day celebrates that most adorable of our four-footed friends, the baby canine, and it's quite possibly the cutest day ever. It doesn't matter the breed or gender, all puppies are the perfect solution to a terrible day. Interesting.
Until they become adults.
I don't play with those things.
Are you a dog lover?
I grew up with dogs, so I don't know if that qualifies me as a dog lover. But I did. I mean, my dad is a dog lover, so we grew up with dogs. When something happens to one, the next thing, hey, we're escorting another one home. So I was used. In fact, I actually have a scar
From a dog.
that still reminds me of my experiences with dogs.
Wow. And that is the reason I don't want to experience dogs. Because why do I have to have a scar because I want to have a pet?
Oh, but the puppies, well, they're so cute. But
I fell in love with a puppy
me,
one time.
yes, puppies until they.
But the owner then gave it out.
I would
that was
actually
sad.
prefer the poodles, because the poodles are, you know, a smaller breed of dogs.
They don't get bigger,
They don't
right?
get bigger. They just remain there, like smallies.
I'm not sure I could, like, I really admire the way, you know, people who love dogs allowed them into their beds. And I've lived with dogs, and we did the best we could, taking care of them, making sure they had their vet appointments, washing them down, you know, general care. But there's still that distinct smell. I don't know how people do it. Kudos to them, kudos. But it's not for me. My kids, they'll always like, "Oh, can we get?" I said, "When you're an adult in your own house, by all means."
And you can
I
care for
can't
them
do.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm not having another baby in the house.
I'm not even in the mood to have a pet that I want to take care of, because taking care of me alone is a problem.
Is it?
So,
A parrot, they talk a lot.
You don't like that?
well, if you talk a lot, then they'll talk a lot.
Oh, really? I don't think so. There's a reason why they call them parrots. There's a reason why they say you're talking like a parrot.
Okay, let's find out who's going first. Noma, what did you find for us in the news?
Okay. Wow. And my phone decides to lock off.
Okay, before you come in.
Okay,
should
please
I
go
take
ahead.
mine?
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. Mine is a good story, and it's, you know, as much as we are complaining that the country is not conducive for the youths, and they're, you know, trying to, you know, carve a benchmark for themselves in wherever capacity they find themselves, or in whatever way they can, you know, contribute to the society. So my story is from is about a Nigerian woman who becomes the first black female president of a college in the United States, and her name is Toyin Tofade, and this was she was coined as she was made the first black president, female black president, in the college called Albany College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, which was founded in 1881.
Wow.
So if that college was founded in 1881, you would know the tradition which has been accrued, you know, that is
Traditional
that
institution.
this institution that has been accrued to that institution. So we know that for her to be reinstated, or no, sorry,
In a place of position.
in a place
High.
of position. Thank you. In a place of position, and
She
given
deserves
that
it.
role, that means that she knows her onions. So I would say kudos to all Nigerians who find
I love
themselves
it.
abroad and are trying to carve a niche for themselves in whatever capacity they can.
I love it when Nigerians represent Nigeria.
But Nigerians always
in
do.
we have a lot, but you know, a lot of times in the news, you don't hear too much about
Well,
success
you know what
stories.
they say about bad
It's
news?
mostly
It travels
about,
faster.
Yeah, I know.
So we have a lot more Nigerians doing amazing things in
Absolutely,
every
yeah, we
part
need
of
to,
the
like we
world.
say here, loud it.
You know, and their news come up once in a while, we talk about it, but it doesn't stick like a bad news. You know how it went when, what's this guy's name, Obi-Wan issue happened. You know, Hush Puppy, whenever the news is out there, it's like the poster boy of Nigeria, but that's not who we are. Like, we have amazing people, we have professors, we have people. In fact, I can say that if you go to any company that is doing things.
Onto that beautiful moment we just experienced now, because there was a terrible fire, and the fire incident caused gridlock and crippled commercial activities around the Lagos Island area of the state. So though the cause of the fire incident could not be ascertained at the time of filing this report, it was learned that the goods worth millions of naira were also destroyed by the fire. And a coal bridge had to be rerouted to a road to link into Marina. And of course, men of the fire service battled really hard to be able to get the fire under control, but it was devastating as well, because a lot of people lost properties. Thankfully, as of now, we haven't recorded any incidents of loss of life or death, but the properties that were destroyed were running into millions of naira, and it was just so heartbreaking. My problem, I mean, I was listening to the radio today, and I heard some of the people who were affected, someone who had directly under the bridge. So it
can't be insured
anyway. So they are not even insured. You're not even.
They're not proper shops.
They're not proper shops. And another thing is that some of these people will also be paying some form of levies over the years. And so there's a lot of, I mean, corruption into this matter. If you look into it,
local government.
I mean, it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot, because government, you're wondering, how are these shops for somebody to be under the bridge for 35 years? Wow. And it's an illegal structure, right? And times the number of illegal structures that are there, it was someone's duty to make sure. And this has also, we don't even know how far it affected the bridge, because the bridge is on lockdown now until it passes the integrity test. We wouldn't know.
So that means the bridge has been
shut
down. These are
the implications of this, and it's something that Lagos State government seriously needs to look into.
It seems we just go from one problem to the other in this Lagos State,
it's a kind of
so now
that's
opening from now going till they're done with the integrity test. We are now going to face a level of traffic, right?
And there should be a diversion somewhere.
Oh, goodness!
In the course of all of this.
So my story is. It's not a sad story. It can be a feel-good story, but it's about growth, and I mean, we love growth here on Ways.
Absolutely.
So we've also had conversation around it, which is the Nigeria Startup Bill. We've had people who are sort of championing this progress, and they've been here on the show, I think sometime last year. So right now, the House of Representatives has passed it for second reading to establish a regulatory framework for the tech startup. One of the very key things in there is that employees of startups are to begin to get 35% tax break as reps pass bill for second reading. I guess this was important to highlight it based on the conversation too that was happening yesterday in terms of toxic workplaces. And you know, most of them were really pointing towards the tech ecosystem as well. So I guess that was why it was important for Premium Times to also come from this angle. So it went on to read that the bill, an executive bill sent to the House of Representatives on the 3rd of March by President Muhammadu Buhari, seeks to provide a legal framework for the operations of tech startups in the country. An eligible employee of a labeled startup shall be entitled to personal income tax exemption of 35% on the income of the employee for a period of 2 years from the date of engagement by a labeled startup. Now, I think this is really interesting because it goes beyond giving tax breaks to the company and then giving to the employee as well. So I don't know why you are making that face. It's
all about implementation.
It has her doubts.
Implementation, right?
It's all about implementation. If it's not going to be implemented by what is able to actually
mandates to provide the policy direction for the council, which includes the creation of the startup support and engagement portal. So, I mean, everything looks like it's going towards the right direction. I also agree that it's okay to be skeptical, especially this is Nigeria. Implementation is usually a problem because I know we have a lot of these policies, a lot of bills, and laws everywhere, but you know, so I'm hoping that this is different, but I also like that this bill is happening. and we'll keep monitoring the progress from this end.
So long as they make it as transparent as possible.
Yes, absolutely, and it's been so far. Okay, I think it's time for a very quick break, and when we
challenging. In Nigeria, it is particularly intimidating, and successful builders have learned how to navigate a hostile environment to unlock opportunities. But one major challenge businesses face is how to filter through the noise and identify where their ideal customers exist. Get insight and practical steps from industry players and captains of industries. Hear success stories to help you make informed decisions as you scale your business in Nigeria. Watch Business Insights at this time on PlusTvAfrica.
Hey, what's up, guys? You're welcome to another edition of Plus Event, and I remain your host, Ifeoluwa Oshuke. Your absence isn't an excuse anymore, as Plus Event is all you need, as we bring you the glitz, the glamour, and loads of fun.
Oh, definitely. Right, no question. He's a living legend.
Oh, God forbid, Holy Ghost fire, I know.
I just want to be blown away. I want to be wild. This is 11 years of doing it.
I'm surrounded by so much positivity. No, it's okay.
Yo, what's up, my people? It's your boy Starboy Terry. You're watching
Plus Event on Plus TV.
Stay glued to Plus TV Africa every Saturday and Sunday, 4:30 p.m. West African time.
Thank you for staying with us. Air transport is one of the world's most important industries. Its development and technical service achievements make it one of the major contributors to the advancement of modern societal development. The growth in the aviation sector cannot be matched by any other major form of transport due to its technicalities and new innovations. The terminal that was launched is expected to handle 20 million passengers a year and expected to generate about 3,000 direct and indirect employment opportunities for Nigerians, as well as enhance passenger facilitation and comfort. What maintenance culture looks like in Nigeria. Please let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation and send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-4663. I'll take that again. That's 081-803 803-84663. You can also tweet at us at WishShowAfrica1 or use the hashtag WishShow. Now, before I bring in our guests, I'd like to hear what Norma and EC think about this. I mean, let's look at it from the maintenance culture as well, and also the impact you think that this...
Know that we have a history of not being able to maintain our infrastructure in Nigeria. And that is where my concern is, because it's not just enough to throw in millions and billions of place where it is sustained, and then we begin to develop sustainability culture in Nigeria.
Sustainability culture. That's another guest, right? Okay. I guess it's time to bring him in. He's been on this show before. He needs an introduction, but we'll do the proper thing, right? Gbolahan is a resourceful corporate executive with work experience spanning over 28 years, 14 of which were spent as a C-level executive. He is a consummate finance and accounts professional with extensive exposure to marketing, operations, and management at various levels. His industry exposure cuts across professional services, investment banking and advisory services, corporate banking, print media, education, healthcare, oil and gas, and telecoms. In 1991, graduate of Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, and an associate of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. He is also an alumnus of Stephen F.A. Austin State University, Texas, where he graduated top of his MBA class in 2004. He's currently Executive Director with DMA Advisory and Management Services Limited, somewhere in Lagos. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you. I mean,
you're quite
it's
the all-rounder.
yes,
I'm
and
telling
it's
you.
great to have him for this. Yeah. So, looking at the commissioning yesterday and what we have been able to achieve, I mean, there's Kano, there's Port Harcourt. I'm yet to be there to see what it really looks like, because I'm sure that there might be reservations as to what should have been. And
professionals. We have this asset we have literally probably borrowed to do it. It is in our interest to ensure that this works for us, because while we'll be paying loan on one side, it will be good that we are reaping the benefit properly on the other
generating
side.
income. Yeah.
Part of what we need to, when I was in healthcare, I had a friend, is a Chinese French guy. His name is Fook. He was in charge of the African business for Electa then. Electa is a Swedish company. And he told me something. He said, you know, it is easier for me to just sit in Paris and manage Africa than to sit in any part of Africa. Because the airport in Paris is an aviation hub. I can hop on the aircraft and get to any part of Africa without having to think about, oh, it's only once a week that they have a flight to do. You know, so Africa does not have a genuine aviation hub. And one thing that has been known with aviation hub and the cities where they are located is that they are synonymous with economic activities upliftment. Whether you're looking at London or New York or Dubai or Istanbul or Hong Kong, just look at where those, or Amsterdam, where those aviation hubs are located, you see increased economic activities around those institutions. The only airport that may be coming close to being an aviation hub in Africa is actually the Bole Airport in Ethiopia. That airport today is going to up to 123 different international routes. Yeah. So it's more or less as if Ethiopia is positioning itself to be that African hub. So that anybody who is thinking of Africa, where do I sit? They will just say, okay, let me go to Ethiopia. From Ethiopia, I can reach any part of Africa. You know. But the question is, why not Nigeria as well?
I mean, do you think it's too late to start thinking towards that direction?
It's not too late.
Okay.
Where we are right now, if you say, where are the 5 topmost airports in Africa? Nigeria doesn't feature.
Doesn't come to the picture.
It doesn't feature.
5 or
the top 5. Well, sometimes you may see them in number 8. Yeah, that's what you really see. In terms of both capacity or the number of passengers that this airport handles.
And functionality.
Of course. It's part of what travelers look at. That, oh, I've been to this particular airport before. It wasn't, you know.
The general experience.
It's top right there. We need to get the new wing to be able to give us that kind of memory. The problems we've had with our public-private partnerships is the issue of transparency. So the public is saying, I don't even know the basis for all these things you're asking. Who is that private sector person that you gave the business to? How did you determine that? It's very key. Without that, the ordinary citizens, the economy, it may not be that the middle class one, and there are the cleaners and security and all the rest, those are there. Different cadre of employment. They all benefit, they get paid. So there's a multiplier effect that creates in the economy as well, because people are earning, so they have capacity to consume. And capacity to consume induces production. If the number of people that are buying my product goes from 10 to 12, I need to produce more. So it has a way of, you know, creating the multiplier effect in the economy. There is also the fact that when your airport is good, it enhances other opportunities, including trade and tourism. Tourism especially. People want to go to airports with experiences. And then it starts, because people start to get a feel about your country from your airport.
True.
And some of them are already making up their mind whether they want to explore or just, let me just do what I have to do and get out of this place. So if you have a nice airport, properly done, and people had the right experiences there, they want to explore them all. They even want to start feeling the hospitality of the people. Right from that airport. The ambience of the airport has to be there. Ambience is also something we've not
considered.
Paid so much attention to in this.
Have a culture of beauty.
Before you go deep into ambience and the reforms she talked about, I want to bring you back to human capital. And I mean, we all know what it's been when it comes to how the people at the airport and how they treat you when you go there. It's almost like it's either you're quarreling or they're trying to get something out of you, or they're hassling you, and you don't experience these things when you leave the country, right? So how do you think we can also get that part right? Because I think that's part of the experience.
Absolutely.
If you, I think I've seen tweets or even just posts on Facebook or Instagram where
talking
people
about their experiences
by foreigners, not even just Nigerians.
Yeah, yes.
And they tell you how it is alien for them to be hassled the way they were hassled because somebody wants to get something in their pocket. And like you said, airports employ all cadres of people, and I believe that it has to do with probably the training, the mindset,
the culture.
I mean, I don't want to feel like I'm beginning to answer the question I need to start asking.
It's a culture.
What do we do to get that part right? Because it sounds little, but it is a big deal.
It is not little from an airport kind of business perspective. It is not little. Now, my first question will be, are we going to be able to get the concessioning part of it right? I do not think that the civil that fan, I said, is already spoiling for war over this issue of concession. But if we can get it right, consider it to the right people, then we're in business.
Right.
We will see a difference, and maybe that way will encourage us
right.
to want to try it in a couple of other airports more. So the instead of, for example, concessioning the 4 airports at the same time, my idea would be let's concession 1
and see how run it for a period.
And then let's see how people perceive this, because when you get to the airport,
to sell
it's easier to sell. It becomes easier to sell. When people get to the airport, nobody asks about who is even managing this airport. What they're interested is in the service. Everything they want is there, and that is it. So I do not think, it's a personal view, judging from the various encounters one has had with civil servants and the culture of the civil service in the country. I do not think that government has the capacity to deliver that level of service. Can we concession it to extra?
Yeah. If you're just tuned in, we are having an amazing chat with Bola or whatnot, and you said something around